if you guys need to get going, I understand. If you want to stick around and chat a little bit, I'm fine with that too. Anything you want to say, maybe about Wizards of Morcar coming out this month and the new Avalon Hill Discord and all that?
I don't know. I don't know if you read it in Discord. Big Spender just said the Amazon changed the date
Hmm.
for the delivery, and it's, it's ridiculous. It's just one. They practically move it just 1 week. It's the 23 of February.
Oh, what the heck? That's for the U.S. or what is it?
Big Spender, I think he's the US
Big
based.
spender.
I
Oh yeah,
think
yeah,
so.
yeah. He is. He is. He's got the. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to shout him out. He's got that man cave on his YouTube,
Yes.
which is pretty great. He and his son are hanging out there, and he has some great videos on YouTube. Big Spender. I forget what it's called. Is it Big Spender Cave or something like that? Just look that up. Big Spender Hero Quest. You'll find it. Yeah, it's pretty funny guy.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
we're still supposed to be expecting Wizards of Morcar this month. Nothing's been changed in terms of the release date over here, so yeah, hopefully that stays in place.
I mean, maybe it was a CYA situation. Like, it's probably going to come out early, so we'll just say that. Or maybe they'll quietly update it as things
Yeah.
go. Because Australia got it early.
Yeah, I've not heard of anyone in the UK receiving it yet, but the estimated shipping dates haven't changed since Avalon Hill came out and said, well, that distributors could release the product.
Yeah. I keep forgetting his exact title, but I mean, Michael at Avalon Hill is the media marketing person. So when he says something, he's not just, this isn't just like his opinion, man. This is real stuff. So if he says it's coming out early, I believe him. And yeah, it's going to vary from region to region and retailer to retailer, but still, that's good news. I mean, the thing's done. It's been done. Um, I'm happy to see it come out. I know people have pointed out numerous small typos in the text, but even so, even with those typos, you know what it means. And I'll admit I was wrong, quote unquote. I was wrong because all this time, I think when we started doing the streams, I got into my head that, well, Wizards of Morcar says on these spell cards, and I even said it on the Rantcast stream. Rantcast. I said it on there that, oh, when you summon a monster, that's all they can do. They just show up and that's it. But look at these Wizards of Morcar cards. It says they can move attack immediately, so that makes it different. And of course, some people were arguing very forcefully, no, no, no. Don't you know? It's always been that they could just move an attack regardless of what it says. Now, Doug's response was not to outright contradict it, but say, well, what on the text tells you they can't do that? And it was like, oh, shoot. So they agree with that interpretation that just because it doesn't say attack and move immediately doesn't mean it can't do it. So summon undead, summon orcs from the game system. The message I get now is the intention for those spells is it really only the only difference between that and the new ones in the new Wizards of Morcar is where you place the monsters initially. So in the game system, you use one of those spells, you put the monsters around the spellcaster, so like in those 8 squares around him or as close as you can to protect the spellcaster, but then they can move outward and attack because it's still Zargon's turn. He can move all of the monsters under his control unless it explicitly says he can't, like, you know, they're in a Tempest spell or whatever. They've been entwined. And so I, at first I kind of was like, I don't like that because I feel like the new spell should be different, more different. But actually, it's good because some of the Wizards of Morcar spells don't say anything about the monsters moving, whereas other ones do. But using his principle, they're all the same. So summon mummy would place a mummy like, you know, right next to the guy, but then it could move and attack, right? Same with the skeletons, call goblins, call orcs. and that makes the spells a lot more useful. But the nice thing about the Wizards of Morkar ones is, unlike the Summon Undead and Summon Orcs from the original game, he doesn't have to place them around him to start with. He could place them anywhere in his line of sight, so they could be like over here, or like down a hallway or something, as long as he has a line of sight to him. And he can teleport them from one place to another, or he could just grab new ones and put them on the board. So I think we were talking at the beginning of the stream about the fact that some spells are buffed, but maybe not enough of them. I suppose you all have ideas about like what they should have changed. I'd like to hear a little bit more. I don't know if you guys want to talk about it some more on the stream.
Yeah, I've got another technical question actually as well.
Yeah.
You know the rule about if a hero stands on one of the 8 squares adjacent to a dread shifter. So if a dread shifter, is that the right word? Dread shifter, yeah?
Yeah, be careful if you say it the right way. 1 second.
Yeah. So if a dread shifter is in its door form, its disguised door form, would the 8 square thing not, how would that work? Maybe it's just the 2 adjacent squares in that case.
Okay, let's
it's such a pedant question.
All right. So let's demonstrate your question here. So this is Glasgow's question. So let's say you're the barbarian. And what's happening with the dread shifter?
So let's say the dread shifter is a door, but it's not yet been revealed as a dread shifter, and so it's just standing in between 2 rooms.
Let's pretend it's a. Oh, it's got to be a door. Darn it! I was gonna use this as an opportunity to show off the one I just painted. That's from one of Bohemius's 3D prints that he sent me. Okay, so let's just say that the door. So just classic door, nothing wrong. Okay, so you're right here. I guess this isn't right because this is a big door.
But not being a monster is not occupying a square. That is the question. Is not anywhere actually on the table for monster wise. So he's asking which one are the adjacent square to the door, the one in front and the one behind, or the 6 squares around. I believe is that the question, right? Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly my question.
Okay. Let me grab the card as well because I'm going to look at it with you guys.
I don't think it's specified. Also, because when you reveal it, where do you put it? You have to put it.
Is it on the card or is it in the? Oh, there's something in the quest book as well. Okay, so there's the huge card. Oops. Ambush. Place this monster onto the board as the object it appears. For example, a chest or door. First time a hero moves into the 8 squares surrounding this object. Place it with the corresponding ambush monster miniature. May move and attack immediately. Okay, that is an interesting question. I could check the book. My initial thought would be if it's a door, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I guess it's just the line segment right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's only 6 squares.
Yeah, not
8.
Yeah, so maybe 6, but then you might also think maybe it's only 3 because if it's a dread shifter, then it's not really a door. So you only see it from one side, either from the left side or the right side, but not both.
You like if a monster was just standing there.
But also the question is, in the moment you recognize that it's not a door, where do you place it?
Yeah, because since I don't have the miniature, I mean it's this thickness, right? And it's got legs.
Yes.
So yeah, do you place it on the border between the two tiles or rooms, or do you place it like in the square like that? Like there's really just a hole here, and it's just standing.
Yeah, imagine the wall behind the door is like completely full. It's like it's a fake room. It's not.
Oh, it's like he's
where
embedded.
Do you place the,
he pushes you back and just stands there like that. This is just a stone.
That is the question. Where do you place it? Which one is the square?
Good question. That sounds like a Doug question. Let me just see if the book says anything. Because Timothy did, Gunmanevin did release those. Unearthing, revealing ambush monsters. Okay, let's see if there's any clues here. No spoilers here. This is just explanation of the new rules from Wizards of Morcar. Ambush monsters. Revealing ambush monsters. Let's probably see it before I get it resized. When a monster with the ambush ability is encountered, Zargon places it on the board as the object it appears to be. Either a chest or a door. First time a hero moves on to any of the 8 squares surrounding this object, replaces it with the corresponding ambush monster. It may move and attack immediately. Here they continue. Uncovered. Searches for treasure in the room or quarter where they're located. Replace hidden ambush monster. Monsters with the model. These are just normal. I guess it really doesn't provide any additional clarification, does it? Are you seeing anything I'm missing here?
So, if I may, as I interpret this, so what it's saying is, as soon as the hero moves into one of those 8 spaces around it, right? So, for example, with the scenario where the door is there and you're walking up to the door, you only have those front 3 because there's walls the other side. So, as soon as you step in there, it would reveal. And then you can place it, I would presume, in any one of those squares there, whether it moves the hero back or it goes into one of the other 2 spots. That's how I would interpret that, at least.
So you could either say, like, yeah, if this is just solid stone, he's just embedded in the wall attacking you, or, yeah, he pushes you back and just appears and attacks. As if he's just a 1 square monster at that point.
Yep, that's how I interpret it, reading that.
I guess we've had doors that are traps before in quests, but never doors that are monsters. So it's kind of a new imaginative thing to figure it out.
There's also a kind of follow-up question to this one, which, and I've not really looked at the quest maps. I don't want to really look at those just now, but I'm assuming that sometimes the Dreadshifter door appears as if it is a normal door at first on a quest map. So perhaps where it truly exists depends on where it's first seen from. You know, is there maybe 2 active rooms on either side of a Dreadshifter door? And is it sometimes possible to approach it from either side? In which case, where the Dreadshifter would appear would be a function of where it was discovered.
I could buy that. Because I don't think the door itself, it's not like a fake door, like it's just a solid wall. I would still take it as like there's a hole there, like a breached wall that you can still walk through. Like.
Ah, right, really? I see.
I mean, unless you take it the other way, like
that was it. I thought it was like a fake door pretending to be a door.
Because we've had fake doors in HeroQuest before, where it's like you try to open it and there's just nothing. Like you can't actually go through it. I mean, you could pass through rock to just bypass it, but I'm taking that. Yeah.
So you think maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes you move the Dreadshifter and you replace with an open door or something.
Yeah, you could put something to indicate, yes, you can still move into this room or through this area. Like I'm thinking of video games. Like in the video game, it would be like the 3D model of the door frame is actually the monster, and so he like comes out of the wall. He rips free from the wall and like walks towards you. I mean, but behind him you can see a big jagged hole where he used to be. Now,
okay, I can buy that. Yeah.
How they choose to handle it in the companion app will be interesting, because usually they got a pretty good handle on the new mechanics. Not always, but that might indicate, like, I can imagine the monster just appearing, and then there's just a door icon there. So it's actually like there's 2 doors, maybe. But yeah, Timmy, I won't reveal it.
That makes sense. Yeah, that could be.
I won't reveal it, but I'm just going to take a quick glance at the maps myself here off camera and see if I can see anything like that. Okay, that looks like just a regular one. Yeah, because for all the heroes know when they see it, it's just, oh yeah, that's just whatever it appears to be. Of course, you know, other people are going to 3D print their own mimics for everything. It's like, finally, I get to throw these into HeroQuest. Mimic tables, mimic alchemist bench.
Well, you know, I want a mimic fireplace.
Yeah, mimic weapons rack. Okay, well.
Mimic carpet.
Oh, that's the most dastardly one of all.
Yes. Where'd that rug go, anyways? I mean, we got a rug.
Behind you. Yeah, it's like the camera pans back to like our storage facility where we have all our like gear stashed for the heroes, and you just see this carpet with like teeth that's just like slowly like chomping on all the equipment and eating it. Funny. But as soon as you open the door, it like, you know, it winks back into its its form, camouflage, looking like the real thing. Okay, so as I'm looking through this, I'm going to get totally distracted, but I'm seeing that they've made a lot of changes to the existing quests. So that whole reimagined thing, they weren't joking. I think other people have said that too. I don't think this is going to be too much of a problem with these Dreadshifter doors. It seems pretty logical. Now, if you choose to use them in new ways, not necessarily intended by the people, or I mean by the quest designers, you might have to improvise. Just trying to see here. We do have some interaction with breached walls and stuff happening with the earthquake spell as well. So there's all kinds of like potentially unpredictable situations where Zargon's just going to have to kind of make a decision. But I think the general guideline is, yeah, if there's a real wall, I mean, if there's a real room between the two, well, I guess it's magic. You could say whatever you want. You could say, yeah, it was occupying a space, so that space has to still be like, you know, there had to be space for the monster to begin with, right? So there's a hole. Or you could say, well, who knows? Maybe the monster was just flat. It's like the symbiote from, or it's the T-1000. It just like flattens itself against the floor, and really it just was appearing to be part of the.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, that's the key with HeroQuest. If you want to use an analogy with a movie or a cartoon or a comic book that everybody at the table knows, they'll go along with it. They're like, oh yeah, darn it, it's the T-1000 guys. Yeah. All right. What else? I'm getting excited thinking about it, though. The possibilities for new surprises. It's too bad they only gave us one of each. We can't just be like, oh yeah, there's 20 of them.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, someone on the Discord was talking about buying several copies.
See,
you know,
because of that, I'm
stock up on your golems and minotaurs.
I'm gonna have a hard time getting my own copy because all these guys are buying extras. But it's not a limited release product, so it'll be fine. But yeah, it's like the Minotaur. You know where he's at, so you don't have to worry about him sneaking up behind you. It's the second Minotaur you didn't even see. My point is, you were alive when they begin to eat you. Clever girl. There's going to be so many cow jokes, though. So many bull jokes.
Yeah. I would quite like to see some sort of mechanic where and I don't think there is anything. But again, I'm going to be doing a fair bit of home brewing, I think, with this one.
Nice.
But I'd quite like the idea that maybe some of the Wizards of Morkar can maybe sometimes cast more than one spell per turn, because some of the spells are such that you might like to just attack instead. Like the Wizards of Morkar have got quite good attacks and defense dice, if I remember.
Yeah, they do.
And sometimes the spells can pale in comparison. Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you could always say, they've got a Wand of Recall. Why not? I mean, they're pretty high level wizards. Why wouldn't they have something awesome like that? Give you an opportunity to do 2 spells in 1 turn. One thing I'll share with you guys, I don't want to give away all my secrets, but I got these, and I've always wanted to have like an ogre shaman. I mean, I've already got these spells, so
that'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with how the ogre magic works in Warhammer? It's actually quite interesting.
No, tell me.
So it's called gut magic. So if they crunch bones, it will make their enemies' bones like have this sensation of being broken. Or if they, I don't know, do something with eyes, like they eat eyeballs, it'll make someone go blind, or like it's sort of like that kind of voodoo doll effect.
Yeah, I was just gonna
where
say
they can
fantasy like voodoo doll.
Yeah.
Whatever happens to the doll,
but it's like whatever they eat.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be quite interesting with an ogre spellcaster.
Yeah, you could ham it up. Well, I have all these extra cards that I printed out, and I printed them out a long time ago. Never used them, and it's like, just thinking of ways to finally introduce them into the game, kind of add a little spice, a little flavor. There's definitely stuff you can do. Well, and I was thinking of the basics with taking game system spells and using them to buff out the characters. Like my High Mage, he's going to have a Lightning Bolt. My Necromancer, he's going to have Summon Undead. Why wouldn't he? But when will he use it? That's the key. Yep.
Yeah, how does the Necromancer compare to the Witch Lord? Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have... You don't need a special item to kill him. But yeah, is his control over the undead as great as the Witch Lord? Should it be? See, I haven't run my game system with the stream yet. I mean, except for those couple of quests we did run with Sir Death vids. Sir Death. And we just ran those straight up. We didn't really add anything. But it could be interesting, running a remixed game system. I had this idea of doing the first edition, but I know, like Bohemius was saying, it's like some of you guys have played those quests so much, it would be hard to like keep you guessing, keep you interested. I mean, except for like pure nostalgia. But for me, it would be something new because I'm not used to playing with those variant rules. I'd like to run the Japanese version too. But yeah, some of that stuff, I mean, maybe I would try it offline first and just see, like, does it feel fun and interesting, or does it just kind of feel like the same? And then judge it from there. I know it's a different dynamic when you're playing with people around the table versus virtually like we do. All right. Well, thank you to all our chatters there, everybody there. Atsumori Kofuhara, Bookham Dano, of course, is here. Gold Public, Snickle, Zargon goes on and on. Ribby, Geek Gone Giddy, of course, our heroes, including Glasgow, Bohemius, Grimlore, Bookham Dano. We never got Jacer. Well, I'll just say, if Jacer's listening, I hope everything's going okay. Drop us a line, let us know how you're doing. Not trying to poke into your life, but whenever somebody's been with us a long time and we've had a great time playing, we just want to know everything's going all right. You don't have to reveal anything, just checking in. So, Wish him well. And shout out to Dungeon Master. That was really awesome that you sent me those Witch Lords, as you call them. That was pretty fantastic. And I want to send you something too, but it's going to take me a while to get it ready. I'm still preparing. I've got a list of people I got to send stuff to. But there's things that I want to make. There's the custom things I've made. I think it'll be worth the wait. But we do have Christmas coming up, so I don't know how quickly I'm going to get those things out of here. I know that's the time when everybody's mailing everything. But yeah, I'll just get Wizards of Morcar probably about the same time everybody else gets it. Is probably what's going to happen. I was seeing First Light at my local Barnes & Noble, which was a good sign. So it's not just Target anymore. And they very often will have some type of sale, like either right at the holidays or right after, with like board games being cheap. And I have like gift cards that I got to spend, real ones. Don't be scammed. Yep. The problem is the stuff is.
I still haven't seen First Light on the shelves over here.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about you, Grimlord, but I've not seen First Light anywhere out in the wild.
I've not seen it around myself either. So yeah, it's confusing. I was expecting to see it in a few places, but no, I've not seen it around yet.
Oh, so it has. But then it's not sold out. It just hasn't come there yet.
No, I've not seen it in any of the shops or anything like that, really.
Yeah, I got mine pre-ordered. I think Hasbro Pulse. I think it was Hasbro Pulse. I got mine from. I just got one copy. No, I didn't. I got 2 copies. Sorry, I got 2 copies, both from Hasbro Pulse.
There you
go. I haven't seen it in the shops.
Our guy there. Yeah, of course you did. Yeah, well, maybe it's time to send a message to Hasbro Pulse. Send them a polite email to Consumer Care. Let them know, hey, our store, or also contact the store. Say, hey, I'd like you to order First Light. Something. Because I'm sure there's all kinds of distribution issues. Atsumori says, the only place I've found it is at the Target. Yep. Or Target, as some of us call it around here. That's where I bought mine. But I mean, I've told the story before. Like, I got there on what I thought was release day. Nobody knew what the heck I was talking about. And I had him go almost said backstage. Had him go behind into the warehouse area, the storage area in the back. And it's like, they were looking everywhere. And it's like, we can't find it. I was like, are you sure it's supposed to be released? They're like, oh, let's try again. Poor guy going around. And then finally they got it, and it was like, okay, now I can buy it. And then a few days later, or maybe like a week later, it came back, and it was on the shelf. Yep. But yeah, Barnes & Noble is the only other place I've seen it around here. And it's a fairly large town, but it's still like in the Midwest, so it's not like a big premier spot either. But yeah, I'm surprised. I would have thought it was available more places. But anyway, they claim that that's changing.
Well, even in the game stores here. I mean, I live in a big city, and there's several, big stores and big game stores. But I'm just shocked that I haven't seen First Light in any of the shelves anywhere. Mm-hmm. And it's been so many places that I doubt it's been sold out. I just don't think it's appeared at all. Whereas all the other expansions have, they've all been there.
Well, that's good at least.
So it seems really strange because First Light was supposed to be, the chance for a big audience to get into HeroQuest.
Yeah, the mainstream.
So that would be the one box you would expect to see above anything else.
Yeah. I mean, part of me is saying to myself, well, if they don't have First Light, but they've got everything else, everything else is kind of better. But yeah, for somebody who's just starting out and is like, ooh, $135, I don't know about that. But then they see the $50 box and it's like, okay, let's give this a shot. What could go wrong? And then they get hooked on it and buy everything else. Yep. So yeah, as a marketing strategy, seems kind of strange. Well, I hope they get it figured out.
Got one more Wizards of Morcar thought, if you've got time for it.
Of course.
I noticed in the original quest book, you know how the first half of the book has got kind of the rules and stuff, and there's a section for the Man-at-Arms where there's a big image, like from maybe an old Warhammer book or something, which is like an image of a town. And I wonder if that was the inspiration for the map.
That's a cool idea. I hadn't thought of that.
Because it's like it's got the kind of iconic kind of stone archway entrance to the town, you know, the kind of gateway or something, and then there's a lot going on. It looks kind of busy medieval style town. And it was only when I was skimming through it that I thought that I wonder if that is where this idea for the kind of what is it, Hopkins Town or something like that, or something on the
Hopkins Keep, yeah,
on the new version. Yeah.
Yeah, I should find. Let me, because that is a great point. I should probably stop this combat music. We're not fighting. I swear we're not fighting. All right, more peaceful music. All right, so I'm gonna go to Yield In because I don't have the box handy. I need to reorganize everything. But yeah, let's look at the original quest book. I'll try to get to a non-spoiler page. Okay, so this is not the picture of the wizard at the gates, right? This is a picture of the town.
Yeah, I think it's under the Man-at-Arms section.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I know where it is.
Men-at-Arms?
Yes. I speak your language, sir. Yeah, on the back cover they have that huge castle with like the ocean, and then there's the guy, looks like a man-at-arm mercenary, walking up to the gate. And then of course on the front cover you've got the stone wall and the bridge. But then inside you've got more illustrations, which I always appreciated about the European originals, which I didn't own originally. There it is. Ah, I know exactly what you're talking about now. Okay. All right, and I can share this without fear of spoiling anything for you guys. All right, you can see that now. Is that what you had in mind?
Oh yeah, that's it. It's a lovely illustration.
Yeah. I don't think that's Tess Hogan. She's got darker hair than that. That might be Doug. He has a hat on, so you can't. No, he's got hair. Never mind. Sorry, Doug. I'm just kidding. But yeah, you've got. Yeah, I guess I haven't looked at this very closely. So you've got these two hands shaking on a flag. You've got some different characters. A guy with a spear. Fenn is the author. You've got a wizard coming out of a tower. Wuthering Heights, like the novel. A princess, another princess, and they're just chatting. Got some. Oh, this is laundry. I thought these were flags at first. There's some. It's like I'm expecting to see Waldo. Where's Waldo? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I wonder if this was original or if this was like a Warhammer illustration. But yeah, if you've got the booklet, it's on page 8 of the original. Hiring men-at-arms. Yeah, it could have been the inspiration. Architecture's familiar. Well, and that would just be another example of, oh, this looks like weapons. This would be just another example of them looking for things that they can evoke from the original. Inspiration, Easter eggs, whatever you want to call it. And I'd certainly appreciate that. It's like, what's something that we can put in that fits, that rings true, that feels like it belongs? All right. Anything else? Anybody?
I was gonna ask you, how'd your painting go for the Christmas exchange? For me, it went really well.
Oh, nice. Well, I had a good time. I don't want to spoil it. I think everybody's mailed it out. No spoilers.
I don't know if they've been mailed out yet because there's a few people, I guess, overseas.
Oh yeah, that'll be a nightmare. Well, I hope nothing gets lost. Yeah, you might have to pay a little extra tariff. We would getting it, whatever, however it works. I mailed my stuff out. Like, let's see. Yeah, at the very end of November. So it probably went out early this week. Mine did. And I painted 2 miniatures and I put them in like a metal, like a Christmas tin. I was at Hobby Lobby. It's just a chain around here. And they had like lots of Christmas stuff. And I'm just like, I was looking for something almost like an advent calendar, like you'd open it up, like little cardboard, and it would be the thing, but I couldn't find something like that. So I just got like, this would be like a cookie box. And I filled it with confetti, colored confetti. And then I put the miniatures inside that I painted. And the painting itself went really well. Like, I had a clear idea of what I wanted to do right away. And first thing was I primed it. These are 3D prints, PLA, from Bohemius. He gave me like a huge collection. That's what I should do. I should just paint them and give them away, like giving back to the community. But yeah, I got a chance to practice my skills. I had a theme in mind, which I won't say what it is. And I did the stuff, but I kept going back to it and going, oh, I should add a little bit more. Oh, I should add a little bit more. I should add a little bit more. It's like, look, I'm never going to get this done. I've got to just say it's done. It's good enough. Send it out. Because originally I was going to do like a whole bunch. I was going to do like a whole theme. And it's like, that's going to take way too long. Just limit it to these 2 and call it good. But yeah, I had a blast doing it. It was really fun. I'd do it again.
I'll do it again next year for myself. The timing ended up really kind of stinking for me though, because the government shut down as a federal employee. That threw a big wrench into me.
Oh man. Yeah, I was thinking statistically there's probably a good chance one of our people got affected. Yeah. Well, I'm glad things are getting back to normal then. Yeah, a lot of people had a lot of stuff happening. Darn.
Yeah, I had a lot of ideas. I ended up just painting what I picked up, and I mailed them out. And I've actually already heard from the individual that I sent them to, and they're really happy with them. So.
Awesome. Yeah, because you can open it as soon as you get it. Just people are gonna. What are we doing? Are we trying to all like post our pictures at the same time, or people just kind of like start posting them?
From what I understand, we're waiting until we have confirmation that everybody's received theirs.
Oh, okay.
And then once that's the case, then we can post pictures.
Nice. Yeah, because part of me is like, don't open until Christmas. But I mean, everybody's going to be busy, so then it won't happen. So it's probably better that we do it at least a little bit ahead of time. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what other people get, too. Like, I'm hoping mine don't break before they arrive. But I padded them pretty well, I think. I guess the worst thing could happen is the tin itself could get dented, but I mean, that's fine. You can still use it for cookies.
Yeah, the ones I sent out, I wrapped in tissue and then bubble wrap, and they said they got there perfectly, so.
Nice. Did you use a 3D print, or did you use an actual plastic or metal, or?
They are actually Reapers that I use.
Oh, so. Ooh, hey, that's high quality. I know how much those cost. Nice.
They weren't that. I didn't do anything that fancy, but they were ones I've heard about, but I hadn't seen before. I ended up walking into a game shop up at my where my daughter's going to college.
Nice.
And I was just looking along, and I found them there. I was like, oh, okay, I'm definitely buying these. So.
Oh man, college towns are great places to find game shops and stuff. Because I remember how it was. You get your student loan money, and you're like, I could spend all this on pizza, but I could get some fancy like hobby stuff. And yeah, there you go. Yep. Very nice. Yeah, I like Reaper figures. I have quite a few of them myself. I started out using them as HeroQuest proxies. Well, I guess I still use them as HeroQuest proxies. But yeah, they fit the new style fairly well, depending on which ones you select. But yeah,
absolutely.
That's what the Wandering Monk was when we started. So, it's about the right size. The only thing is the base, but I don't mind the bases that much. I've added my own bases to them to make them fit well enough for me.
I thought about doing that to the ones that I sent off for the exchange. I decided not to.
Oh, like basing them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like these guys. I mean, these are all Reapers. See, but like this guy, I put a base on him. It's just a little... I just trimmed that and made it into a base. So there's the Paladin. See, it's just like a end cap for like a door, or not a door, a piece of furniture. Like you put it on the end of a pipe, or on the end of a post on a chair or a table or whatever. And you just cut it with a razor blade. You can make it the exact shape that you want. So just to give it like a little square. Anyway, it's what I wanted to do, so I did it. And I had a lot of them. They were cheap. Yep. But like this guy's a Reaper, and I didn't give him a new base. That was me playing around with washes as well. There's a Minotaur.
I like the design on that one.
Yeah.
It's quite old school.
Yep.
It fits HeroQuest perfectly, that.
Yep.
Like especially the old HeroQuest as well, that would totally fit with.
Yep.
But both of them, I find sometimes even the old HeroQuest, you can mix in some of the miniatures, no problem, and it doesn't look too, it's not that far off.
No, it's not.
With regards to scale, like it's not too bad.
Yeah. That's not bad at all. Yeah, I thought it would be a lot more of a contrast, and I would hate it, but I've gotten used to it.
I think a lot of it's to do with the bases on the new ones as well. The bases are a little bit raised more than the original.
Yeah. Yeah, they're standing on plinths, right? But for some characters, I mean, I don't know, I think of orcs have a lot of genetic variation, let's say, kind of mutants anyway.
Oh yeah, totally.
So you can have big orcs, small orcs, you got big heads, small heads, doesn't matter. With the heroes, I mean, I guess you have variations there too. I mean, you've got your dwarves, you got your barbarians, you got your halflings.
Yeah, I mean, are goblins orcs?
Depends on whom you ask. In HeroQuest, yeah, what are they? I mean, they're different peoples, but are they related? So
I suppose that it's a similar thing to like sort of like dwarves, elves, and humans. Like they'd be cousins, I'd suppose.
Yeah.
Like closely related, but I'd say orcs are goblinoid to an extent.
Yeah. Well,
you could say
in Lord of the Rings, they are the same. species, let's say. And even in the movies, they portray them as different species, but not really because they're genetically compatible. Of course, you could say, well, maybe they needed magic to do it, but they bred orcs with goblin men to produce the Uruk-hai. So it's like, okay, sure, why not?
Yeah,
Half elven.
And although they haven't appeared in Hero Quest, Warhammer has hobgoblins as well, which are kind of maybe halfway between goblins and orcs or something like that.
So if you mix it human with an orc, it's a half orc, but then you've got hobgoblins as well.
Yeah, they're all really close related. In Warhammer, all the other like orcs and goblins hate hobgoblins because of in ancient history, they basically backstabbed the orcs and goblins who were sort of fighting against being oppressed by the Chaos Dwarves. So it was like there was a big uprising, and the hobgoblins then sided with the Chaos Dwarves. So all the other orcs and goblins hate hobgoblins.
Everybody's got long cultural memories. Well, I guess with some of these creatures, they're so long-lived that it actually did happen to them. It's not just like, well, my great-great ancestors told me that you guys suck. It's like, no, I was there. I was there, Gandalf, 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, especially like orcs and stuff like that. They can live a long time.
Not in Hero Quest, but no, I know what you're saying. Hey, Groshok hung around long enough to get his wizarding degree. Here's his shamanic degree. Warcaster.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Groshak, what are they going to do with Groshak?
Well, I won't spoil too much, but apparently he's not dead. Because I was thinking, I'm sorry about my failure. I'll go apologize to Lord Zargon and see how it goes. It's like, okay, he's clearly dead. But apparently not. Unless that was just a cover story. But I won't reveal more.
I would actually like to see Groshak at some point in a future expansion. Because he is an iconic character. Just that, like, crazy outfit that he had and his, like, skull sort of rattle thing that he had. It was a very iconic character, I think.
Yeah. It's like his little collectible doll that he brings to give himself courage.
They're saving him for a next expansion, I think.
Maybe. Although that'd be a cool scene too, it's just like, how dare you beat up my daughter? Or maybe she gets betrayed by him. Like I was expecting some kind of like family drama. But apparently that'll have to wait. Although you are in control of the quest, so if you want to do something like that, go for it. Yep. Yeah, I think when I first...
You could totally...
Go ahead.
No, go on. That's okay. I was just going off on a tangent with the amount of different orcs. I was saying you could even tie in that's the reason why there's some of the orcs have joined the realm, stuff like that.
Oh, because of like a split between the orc leaders or something?
Yeah.
Go off on their own. Yeah. Well.
Or like two different factions form.
Yep. Yeah. There's a lot of story threads you could pick up, and from what little I've read in Warhammer Fantasy, it's all theoretically possible. And the reason they do that is because they wanted the players to be able to say, okay, I got this army, but it's got like a mixture of different like characters in it. Okay, here's the story excuse of why that makes sense. Like, boom, okay, done. But yeah, when you're making it into your lore, you can go for it. I mean, they were going to have a renegade orc as a character in the Dwarf Quest pack that's unreleased. So they were planning it for Hero Quest. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And you can see in Warhammer Fantasy, it's possible. But yeah, you've got orcs that can use magic. You've got orcs that can be mercenaries. They can be evil or neutral. Of course, what does neutral mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because that's the best part about it is if you can. It's the same way like a human can be an evil wizard the same as an orc can be,
Right.
and the same applies in the opposite way.
Right.
But I think that's the cool part about it. Where they're starting to do that, I think.
Yeah.
But that's the cool thing with neutral as well, where you can have someone, they might team up with the heroes for a few quests, but at the end of the day they're not of the same faction, so they'll go off and maybe fight the same people they were on a quest with.
Are you trying to say Sir Ragnar's an orc? I'm just kidding.
It's hard to say what side that guy's on.
Yep.
Is he a secret double agent?
Triple agent. I knew it had to be a mistake. Wonderful. Oh, getting some comments. Hey, Malwhip. Oh man, sorry. You had a whole tangent going. I was looking at the other screen. It says yes they are. Yes they are. Goblin is the name in English. Uruk is the name in the Black Speech. Yeah, from Lord of the Rings. Which is corrupted to orc by humans. Goblin male plus human female equals goblin man. Human male plus goblin female equals man goblin. Ah, that would be a great name for a comic book character as well, man goblin. As for hobgoblins, they are traditionally good goblins. Oh, I didn't know that. However, in The Hobbit, the term is applied to great goblins, which was copied by D&D. Didn't know that either. However, Tolkien recanted that as an error, stating that hob referred to small, hence hobbits. Therefore, to Tolkien, a hobgoblin was a smaller goblin. As for the breeds, goblins vary as humans, dogs, fish, birds, and cats do. There you go. Well, thank you for sharing that.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. I still like to think of orcs generally as monsters. They always are like the lovable, like, bad guys. Bullies,
Totally.
grunts. You could see them as like tragic too. It's like, oh, these guys gotta be the cannon fodder. But you get a mixture of things. But yeah, you could have heroic orcs too. Maybe everybody's like not trusting them, but could be an interesting character. Now, as for an orc bard, I know there's a lot of hate towards him. He's so goofy, but I think there's still potential there. If you want to have your own character, give him a story, or make him an NPC or whatever.
We do have heroic skeletons from time to time.
That's true. Yes. Yeah, we've got pretty much everything at a certain point.
If you have the right story hook in there, though, you can make it make sense with, like, heroic knights or something raising up for for one last fight for good. A bit like, some old, dead paladin, waking up out of his tomb to fight for the side of good, for one last fight, Yep. You could make it make sense.
Dreadnoughts. Just kidding.
Yeah, and that's not just reminiscent of a Return of the King, but there's also what was it? The British Bedknobs and Broomsticks, where they raised the dead army. Yeah.
I have not seen that movie and thought about it in quite a while. Yeah, the suits of armor, the ghost knights, basically.
Yeah.
I'd have to watch it again though, because I don't remember. I guess as a kid, I just assumed that it was they were just using magic to make suits of armor fight, but so they're actually like the spirits of the old heroes going against the.
Well, now you mention it, I'm not entirely sure, actually.
Because that would have been a kind of a cool twist, because they're fighting the Nazis, right? So it's just like, even the heroes of old are taking up arms to defend the motherland.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not an undead. It's just animating. Maybe it's just animating suits of armor. Yeah.
Because nowadays,
it's still
the principle's the same.
It was really cool.
Yeah, it's still a visual of it. It's like it's quite symbolic, I think.
Yeah.
So they're probably wearing a way showing that with the suits of armor.
Symbolic, yeah, for sure. Well, I always thought that was cool. I was like, when I was a kid, I wanted to like have a mansion where it has the suits of armor in the hallway, as the decoration. Like you can buy those now and they're really cheap. They're like aluminum. They're kind of crappy. You can wear them, but they wouldn't provide much protection. But having like an actual historical suit of armor, like this belonged to one of the knights that, Henry VIII had or something, like, and there's his armor right there, posed. That would be pretty cool. Or Richard the Lionhearted, or whatever time period you're looking at. Okay, he has more to say. Games Workshop orcs are made of fungus. Good times. Yep. Make sure you clean up after the battle.
I was going to mention that they're all mushrooms.
Yep, mushroom people. But see, living fungus, I mean, that's a thing in mythical circles too, isn't it? That maybe they come alive into different things. Bedknobs and Broomsticks is great. I rewatched it not too long ago. Yeah, Angela Lansbury, and I forget the male actor. He's been in a bunch of stuff. It's been a long time.
David Tomlinson.
Okay, they're both magicians, and they like one of them has half of the book, and the other one has and they put it together to try to increase their powers.
I think the idea without maybe decades later it's not enough to talk about spoilers, but I think David Tomlinson's like a crook. He's not really a wizard.
Yeah.
But he has the company or whatever, and he's astonished to find out that Angela Lansbury's magic actually works.
Yeah, he's kind of a con artist. Yep. Oh yeah, the demon, demon star of Astaroth. Yeah, I kind of remember that too. It's like, but I mean, yeah, they take it in a very lighthearted direction. It's like, oh yeah, these evil powers, let's just use it for tricks and stuff. That's cool. No bad repercussions at all.
Yeah.
Can't delete or edit the comment. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, Mall Whip, were you trying to say something and it got censored? I didn't see it. Lesser Key of Solomon. Yep. Yeah, I've read a few things. When I was doing the research for the alchemy thing, yeah, I read a lot of that stuff. It's like, I mean, I wasn't like reading in other languages, but I mean reading about it, you know what I mean? Yeah, the lore. Yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Good for inspiration. But yeah, Bedknobs and Broomsticks. I'll probably have to track it down and try to watch it. And since it's a Disney film, it'll probably be hard to find. Maybe I can find an old DVD or something.
I think it's actually on Disney Plus if you have that.
But I don't want it. I am being curmudgeon-y again, and this could go on the Rantcast. I'm trying to collect the physical media, but I don't know. It's one of those movies that I really enjoyed it as a kid. I think we rented it a couple of times on VHS. I don't know, but I mean, if it's like $50, I don't know if I'll go for it. But if it's just a regular DVD, even if I just watch it and put it on the shelf, I think that's fine. I'd do it.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for having the physical I mean, because at any point, any of these, they can decide what they have on and what they don't have on anymore, and
exactly.
And you're kind of at the mercy of it. So I think there's a lot to be said for having a physical copy. Or I mean, I know that I've got Disney Plus, but I'm coming to the end of my annual subscription, and I'm not renewing because they've hiked up the price again. So
yeah, a lot of services are doing that. We already talked about Xbox and all their issues. But yeah, I'm all at physical media, my man. Live the dream. Yep. I know nothing lasts forever, but still, I like the idea that I can just dust it off and watch it. I don't have to, resubscribe or worry that, they've decided to re-edit it for whatever reason. Like, it's just there.
Yeah, they can decide at any point that something's not palatable anymore, so we're not going to have it on the server.
Instead of the demon star of Astaroth, it's like a smiley face, and you're like, come on. My Lord of the Rings DVDs have more extras than my Lord of the Rings Blu-rays and digital copies. Well,
anyway, that one is the power of the algorithm. Okay, the people that already have the Disney Plus don't know that there was a special for this Black Friday. It was $3 a month for an entire year.
Oh man, dang.
They let the people, the people keep paying the high price of Disney Plus, and they don't see the other special.
So much for rewarding loyalty. That sucks. But new customers, yeah, they get the benefit. Well, Malwhip, I noticed that. So I kept all my extended edition Lord of the Rings DVDs, and I'm still watching those specials, the bonus material, because there's just hours and hours, tons of it. But yeah, it's like they almost assumed that you're going to buy the new one on top of the old one, and so you're going to have all the material rather than complaining that, oh, it's just the same extras again. But I was hearing that the newest Lord of the Rings Blu-rays and 4Ks, like they had re-edited like the colors and stuff and changed them a bit, specifically with the flashbacks. Like the flashbacks are more like monochromatic because they were trying to match the look of the Hobbit movies, and I was like, oh, I don't like that. Although the Blu-rays had some problems too. Like I think Fellowship of the Ring has like this green, like the green is turned up too high. And so when I watch it, I turn the green down on my TV so it's not so intense. And it's like, yeah, it does look better that way. But I'm a big nerd, so I mean, it's still a good movie, however you decide to experience it. Good set of movies.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. And when I read The Lord of the Rings fairly recently, I thought it was a great compliment back to the Peter Jackson movies and back and forth. Because there were some things in the movies that I thought were even better than what Tolkien put down. But other things I'm like, oh man, it's too bad he didn't put that in the movie. Like that would have been really good. But reading it off the page, it was like, yeah, that fits perfectly. That is awesome. So it's, yeah, like companions to one another rather than, oh, this replaces this or this is a pale imitation. It was like, you don't often see that in media. Usually it's like the book was better or thank goodness they made a movie and I don't have to read this crappy book anymore. Can appreciate the
I think it was more like a modern adaptation. You know, the movie, it was like where they probably, to save time and things like that, they probably cut certain bits out, and then to make it make sense, they had to
change,
put a little twist in the story to for it to flow, you know, naturally.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great adaptation. Have you seen the cartoon version of it? I think it was a 1970s cartoon.
Yeah, 1978. Lord of the Rings, theatrical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my first like thing that I saw of Lord of the Rings was that cartoon.
I think it was for me.
And
too.
then my dad showed me the book, and I saw it, and I was like, "This is the biggest book I've ever seen." It was, massive.
Yeah, because they split it into 3 volumes. But if you look at the one volume, it's like a Bible of fantasy. It's like, whoa, this is huge.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it in the theater, but see, I wasn't born the year it came out, so I think movies at least around here, used to stay in theaters longer, or came back more often, and so yeah, I remember seeing it and just being like, it was kind of intense for a kid at that age.
It was.
With the rotoscoping and everything, I'm like, it's real, but it's a cartoon.
Yeah. It was hard to work out, what was going on with the way it was animated. It was an experience, definitely.
But I remember I was really fascinated by that, and I fell more in love with the Hobbit TV special cartoon, which also came out before I was born, and yet I remember it because it came on more, or you could watch it on video. I was always fascinated by Sting, the glowing sword, and I had a glow in the dark sword, and even though it wasn't an official Lord of the Rings sword, I still thought of it as sting.
It was still that in your head, yeah.
Yeah, it was so much fun to play with. And that thing is like so brittle now. If I picked it up, it would probably fall apart. But yeah, just a big old hunk of glow-in-the-dark plastic with a handle. That's all I needed. Like you pull it out,
Oh, totally.
you can hear the sound effect of it, like humming. Yeah, in your head.
It double as a lightsaber and
Of course.
everything else as well. But
Exactly. And of course, I had to hit it against stuff and bend it all up, but it's great. Yep. Okay. So.
I had a.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I had a Thundercats sword.
Oh
and
yeah.
and the
Sword of Omen.
symbol lit. Yeah. And the red symbol lit up on it, but it on the advert they made it look like it would shoot out like a beam, and it wasn't that bright.
Oh yeah, because it was almost like the bat signal, like shooting out, but it just glowed, probably, not like a flashlight.
Yeah, it wasn't even like a torch. It just glowed red slightly.
Sword of Omens. I did not have it as a kid. I was jealous, but every like boy my age had one, and it was broken. Like everybody had a broken Sword of Omens in their room somewhere, in their toy box.
Yeah, it's usually the plastic on the actual blade bit was very, very brittle. It was like really hollow. I remember it always, where the plastic gets weakened through bending.
Yeah.
And it sort of discolors it. Yeah, it would go like that, and then eventually it would just tear open.
Kids nowadays have it much better. I mean, you knew every kid, especially young boys, are gonna bash that thing against, their brother, their sister, the kitchen table, the bed, the wall, trees, weeds outside, other toy swords, and it's just gonna get destroyed. But nowadays, like the toy swords you can buy, they're usually like a hard plastic core, and then it's got like hard foam around it. And that's much more durable. So, yeah. I mean, I guess it's good that the sword breaks before the kid does, but still. Quit fighting in the house with your swords. Poke your eye out, kid. Yep. Hit the dog with it. No, you get in trouble. Dog's gonna chew it, have his revenge.
As well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the Sword of Omens, Thundercats. Now that's a series I haven't watched in a long time. I should definitely check that out again. I've kind of taken a whirlwind tour over some of those cartoons, and some of them, it was a different time. I had a different attention span, different. Saw it with different eyes, and it doesn't quite age as much. You can't just binge it like you thought you could, but still fun to kind of see all that stuff that enchanted you as a child. Hopefully share it with your own kids or grandkids or nephews or nieces or whoever.
Yeah, I showed my kids the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, and they actually really enjoyed that. And
Dragons Ride. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And
I watched that one recently too. And there was like a fan-made episode that used the lost script to show how they got home. Spoilers. Because they didn't actually release it at the time. Yeah, that one was on Saturday mornings.
Yeah, I always wondered that when I was younger. I was like, what, did they ever actually get home? Because I never remember seeing the episode.
Yeah, spoilers from 40 years ago, but there was supposed to be a final episode, and it was never filmed. But the script was released not so long ago, and some fans it's not the animation is not as high quality as the official episodes, but it's pretty decent, and they put together an animation of it, so you could look it up and see if you want to see how it was supposed to have ended. Mollip says, "I still have my Sword of Omens. It still works. So it gives you sight beyond sight." Nice. And it can come to your hand. That was the other thing. It would, Sword of Omens, come to my hand. Give me sight beyond sight. And then it would transform from a dagger into a big blade. Was that the other thing? Did the blade actually move? Could you extend it? Do you remember? I could probably look it up.
I think at first it didn't do that, but I think I can remember maybe later editions actually were able to, or maybe the more high-end ones could do that.
Oh yeah.
The one I had just lit up, but I loved it. Same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, that's the sort of thing that like Hasbro Pulse would do a HasLab campaign. It'd be like $500, but it would like extend out if you press the button like with like a battery, and then it would light up. And it would fail to fund, and we'd all be mad. Or maybe it would get funded, and we'd all be jealous. All right. Melip says, I watched many of my favorite cartoons again. Dungeons & Dragons, He-Man, yeah, Masters of the Universe, Thundercats, Mask, oh man. I think I only saw one episode of that show, and I had one of the toys, and I broke it because I was a stupid kid. But it was
the couple of masks. Yeah, they looked cool as well. All of the characters' masks were individual, and they looked. Mm-hmm. They all stood out. They had bold colors on them and really cool designs.
And stickers. Don't forget the stickers. Yep. Yeah, so many of those toys came with stickers, and like we were so excited to play with them. Like all my stickers were misaligned, but still, it was fun.
Totally. And once you got them on, they were hard. And you tried to peel them off,
just rip right off.
They wouldn't stick on again. They wouldn't stick. The stickiness would go, and you'd try and stick them back on in place, and they wouldn't stick back.
Yep. There's people online though that they've scanned the original stickers, so you can easily like print them out on sticky paper and like redo it. Or I guess you could like stick it on with like acrylic or something. Yeah, like Toy Polloi with his toy restoration tutorials. Takes me back to the glory of the 80s. Yeah, you can't really go back to childhood again, but you can relive it with another kid and show them. Maybe the toys of today or the cartoons of today aren't doing it for them. It's like, hey, let me share something that used to impress me when I was little. Check it out. Hey, Major Aslan.
Interestingly, my nephew recently got into Star Wars like me, and watched all of the Star Wars films. Like, I mean, all, whatever, 11 of them or 12 of them, whatever there are now.
Dang.
And
sorry.
when asked what his favourite one was, I know this is not scientific statistics here, but I had to ask a sample size of one, right?
Yep.
But I was pleased that my nephew of 8 years old says that A New Hope, as he calls it, is his favourite.
Ah, wise beyond his years. He was supposed to say Return of the Jedi, but you could just say close enough. And tousle his hair. You know, taking your first step into a larger world. Yep. I mean, you like what you like, but it does say something about the quality. Hey, Major.
There's something to be said about a simple storyline.
Yeah. And actually, A New Hope, as he calls it, Star Wars, it's a lot slower paced than the other ones. So for a kid to like be able to appreciate that is kind of cool. Yep. Buddy,
absolutely. Yeah.
He said, Major Asable says, my buddy is currently playing Warhammer Quest, the original. Is it anything like Hero Quest? I've heard that the original from 1995, I've never played it, but it has rules where you can play it either as a tabletop RPG or as like a dungeon crawler. But my understanding is it uses modular tiles, so more like Advanced Hero Quest. Other than that, I don't know much about it. So I guess...
Yeah, I used to play it, so...
Okay,
it's,
tell him.
Yeah, modular tiles like Advanced Hero Quest, but it's mostly just a combat game. Warhammer Quest is really good. It's really good fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But it's less about exploration and more about combat.
Okay. But I mean, is it like fun, or are you saying it's just a different type of game because of that?
Yeah, it's a different type of game, different kind of rules. It's like with Advanced Hero Quest, I think is looks very similar, but it's Advanced Hero Quest is more like Hero Quest than Warhammer Quest is by far.
Oh, okay. Well, and since I haven't played Advanced Hero Quest or Warhammer Quest, I've played Space Crusade, and I know Space Crusade is like combat rather than exploration. I mean, the only exploration you do is to see where the bad guys are, really. But I guess in that one, the board's already laid out, and you're just finding where the blip tokens are. Whereas in this one, you're going room by room. Yeah. Okay, so I guess long story short, it's a different type of game, even though the themes are different and there's some similarities. I wouldn't mind playing it. It's just I can never find it like for a reasonable price. The more modern Warhammer quests, I can find them. They're just very expensive, and they require like painting and assembly and all this other stuff. And so I'm like, I don't know. If somebody gifted it to me, yeah, I'd go in for it. But yeah, I'm just like, that's a lot to invest for a game I don't even know if I'm gonna like. So somebody else who already has it, have your mom make stovetop stuffing, invite me over, and I'll give it a shot with you.
I was gonna say they just released the new version of Warhammer Quest. It's like $270 for it or something like that.
That's about the absolute limit of me spending on a new self-contained game. Is this the Dark Water one that people were talking about?
I think so. Just a second.
Dark Water. I always think of Pirates of Dark Water.
I think it is that one, yeah.
Yeah. I never watched Pirates of Dark Water, but I remember the commercials for it vaguely. And there was a video game as well. I know it has nothing to do with it. It's just a similar title. But yeah, the ones that I see the most are the bookshelf games. They have it at Barnes & Noble. So it's like Warhammer Quest, whatever subtitle. And it's just like, a handful of miniatures and a box of cardboard. But, you go on a little adventure and kill some cardboard monsters. Kind of like First Light. Yeah, so Major Aznable, I'd say if he's got it, yeah, get him to invite you over, try it, play it together.
It's literally like the way I see Warhammer Quest. It's like there's a little bit of, I would say there's a little bit of the war game involved in it. Basically, it's like taking the war game into a dungeon crawler, in a way. So yeah, it's definitely a lot more combat centric. It's like basically that's the same way as the tabletop battle game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like taking you. I think you would have a more. You're rather than playing as one hero, you're playing as like a platoon. Essentially, you've got like henchmen. You might have like a witch hunter and a priest of Sigmar or whatever, like a group.
Mm-hmm.
More so. So yeah, it's more like that.
Sounds like it could be fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a lot more complex with the rules.
Yeah. I mean, the bookshelf games look like they're trying to simplify it and give you like a budget game. But yeah, there's always like a bigger version of the game. So like when they had their couple years back, they had their post-Christmas sale at Barnes & Noble. It wasn't Space Marine Adventures, it was Fire Team. So 40K Fire Team instead of Kill Team. But I mean, the miniatures were compatible. It was just like, and so a lot of people just bought it, threw the cardboard away or sold it on eBay and then kept the minis because it was cheaper at the time, at least. But yeah, they've got 40K type games. I mean, I've seen it's not Blood Bowl. It's, what did they call it? Not Chaos Bowl. Blitz Bowl. Yeah. It's just like a little less violent sounding. Kill Team.
So instead of Blood Bowl, which is you have a full team,
mm-hmm.
your team size, it's basically half the size for your team.
Oh, so it's like NBA Jam. You've got just
yeah, kind of.
Yeah. But if you're just looking for
It
some
plays really well. It's a simple game to play.
or try it out and go, ooh, I want more of this. I'm ready to invest. See, but that's what First Light is supposed to be for HeroQuest. Like you play it and you're like, this is awesome. I want more of this. I want more, more. I want more of everything. So then you seek out the one and spend your money.
The problem is the scale of price from Blitz Bowl to actual Blood Bowl is about 2.5 times.
Dang.
So
they need some other intermediary pieces in between. It's like if you buy Blitz Bowl, these guys should be like veteran players. They should be MVPs or something when they go into the actual game. I don't know. I don't even know how the game is played, but I'm just trying to think. Like some incentive. There's a coupon in the box or something. Coupon code. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, next time we play against the Ogre Horde, we will pick up where the heroes left off. This adventure was just a side quest. It's really cool that you guys survived, despite my efforts. We'll have to do something similar with Jungles of Delthrak tomorrow, if all goes well. And the next weekend, we should be able to... Yeah, and thanks for chatting. Next weekend, I think we're back to normal schedule, as far as I know. For the next 2 weekends, in fact. For me, anyway. My Christmas vacation really doesn't start till the 25th. So then I'll be off till the end of the year. Well, and into the first week. So probably 26th, 27th, and then the second and the third I'll be off. And then we'll pick up again in January 9th for HeroQuest fans. Keep on questing, says Gold Public. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for hanging around a little bit longer, guys, so we could kind of get caught up and chat about some things. So, all right, cool. I'll put the stream up. It'll appear on YouTube in about 48 hours, as usual. Oh, Ajax. Yeah, let's plug him too. So Ajax is this guy in HeroQuest Fans Discord. I don't know if he has a YouTube or not, YouTube channel. But Ajax has been running HeroQuest, starting in 30 minutes. So I kept you guys warm for him. I think Ribby's going to probably try to join. Yeah, Ajax, he's been running Foundry. It's under HeroQuest Fans, under Looking for Players in our Discord. Oh, he doesn't stream. Okay, so it's not a live stream in that sense. It's not a public game. It's a private game, and that's cool. Not everybody wants to be on camera. But yeah, it's using Foundry, so it's a digital tabletop version of HeroQuest. I've seen it. It looks pretty impressive, pretty complete. Yeah, so if anybody wants to hit him up, go for it. I think it's great that other people are advertising their games. I mean, I want that to happen. I'm not trying to hog the spotlight. And if he has a better time for you or you like his style, go for it. And we got the Smoking GM and Danu also do their own games. Smoking GM, he uses Tabletop Simulator with HeroQuest Master Edition, and Danu uses a 3D printed board on Twitch. Cool that the timing was not overlapping but consecutive. Yeah, I didn't coordinate with him at all, but I think it's great that it worked out that way. I mean, you can only have so many heroes in a game, right? So even if we had, it would have been fine. Yeah. And I have no idea if I'll be playing HeroQuest over the Christmas break. I'll probably be playing some games, but it might just be with my family. But yeah, if you get a chance to play a live game. Oh, the last bit of news, I forgot to say this, is the whole like friendly local game shop, like Avalon Hill Game Nights, that's happening next year. Have you guys heard anything? Is it supposed to be January, or did they say when? Because I thought it was supposed to happen this year.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it until they show it. Because really, last time
they dropped the ball. For sure.
They did a big mistake.
Yeah, it's kind of a sore spot for a lot of people. Yeah, because the first time they did it, it was only major stores that did it, like in big coastal cities, and it was really poorly communicated. We were all excited and couldn't find anything. And this time it was like, okay, it's happening soon, and then time goes by, time gets away from us, and then it hasn't happened yet. But theoretically, you're going to be able to walk into a store on one of those nights, and somebody's going to be running the HeroQuest game, and they're going to have giveaways and stuff. But from the sound of it, it's like maybe it's just going to have to be fans volunteering because they might be too short-staffed at these stores to even do it. Some of these smaller stores. So kind of a shame, really. But we as fans do what we can. I mean, a lot of these stores, they don't care. I mean, you can just walk in with your own game and just be like, all right, let's play. As long as there's a free table. Or maybe you got to buy a coffee or something. Like pay your $5 and then you can be there all night. Get some people into HeroQuest with you. Spread the good word. All right. Well, I'm starting to get tired here, so I'm going to say thanks again, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us on HeroQuest fans. Good to be back. Just like Zargon,
guys, good night.
On and on. I can go on and on. All right. Have a good night, guys. Yeah.
Cheers, everyone. Great game.
Good game. All right. Stick around if you want for the raid. Otherwise, everybody have a great night. This Christmas, I'll be playing Grim Cover and Tainted Grail board games. We'll have an awesome time. Good night.